this lesson, we're going to help you understand listening part B by using different tips and strategies. In listening part B, candidates will hear 6 short extracts, and these are interactions in the workplace between a healthcare professional and a colleague. Sometimes it could be an interaction between a healthcare professional and a patient. The 6 questions will last for around 10 minutes. In every question, there will be one multiple choice question to answer about each extract. This is multiple choice A, B, and C. You will be given 15 seconds to look at the question before each individual recording. Reading the questions and underlining the key ideas before you listen to the extract will help you in recognizing and listening for cues, maintaining your focus on the question, and avoid becoming distracted by ideas mentioned in the answer options. After the recording, you will be given 5 seconds to mark your answer. Listening part B tests your ability to understand everyday workplace interactions, such as a handover. This is when you're providing information or giving an opinion about your patient's care. Listening part B could also be extracts with regard to safety briefings or staff briefings. These two talks about something very similar, which is a senior position staff talking to members of staff. This could typically be potential safety concerns when it's a safety briefing, or perhaps the senior person telling the new staff or members of staff information about the workplace. Other types of listening part B conversations could be feedback with regard to training sessions or staff observations. In this particular situation, you could hear a junior member of staff speaking to a senior member of staff, giving feedback on a training that they have recently attended, or maybe the senior staff informing the junior staff with regard to some observations they've seen at work. Another typical questions in listening B could be a conversation with regard to adverse incident reporting. These are areas of concern within the workplace, such as a medication error, which the member of staff will be highlighting in his or her conversation. Lastly, just like with listening part A, it could be that you're listening to a healthcare professional speaking to a patient. In this particular instance, perhaps the patient has a concern, has queries with regard to admission details, or perhaps would like more information about their discharge. In order to answer listening part B, it's very important that we are able to anticipate the context. Context means looking at the setting of your recording or your extract. The setting tells you precisely who are the two people speaking. In this instance, we have a nurse briefing a colleague about a patient. In every situation, when you are hearing two voices, it will always be one male and one female. Apart from the setting, one of the most important information with regard to your question is the actual question part, which is typically written in the middle. In this instance, there are some cues that you're supposed to look at in order for you to be able to focus on the person that you are going to listen to, or the person that will give you the answer that you need. In this instance, this is she. So basically, the female voice will be the one to give you the answer, and she will be the one that you will listen to in terms of the warning that she is giving her colleague about. Once you have identified the person to listen to or to focus to, it's now time to look at the 3 multiple choice options. It's very important that when we're looking at the answer options, that we are able to identify two particular areas. The first area, just like in here, tells you that your situation should be that the patient is allergic. Now, in order for letter A to be the correct answer, we must be sure that the allergy is about antibiotics. If you heard on the recording that the patient is allergic to antibiotics, then that question or that answer option would be considered the correct answer. However, do not rely on keywords alone. Just because you heard the word the patient is allergic doesn't mean that letter A is the right answer. If the recording states that the patient is allergic to ibuprofen, then letter A would be considered wrong. Let's give some practice set questions a try in order to find out whether we can identify who are the speakers that we need to listen to and whether we've understood the setting that we are given.